Do you like Horus Heresy? Yes! Well, then stay tuned for this next episode as we go through some introductions. We have some hobby progress. We do surviving COVID and what things we're looking forward to the most. And we talk about the Son of Horus Praetor leak pictures.
Welcome to Trident Wargaming, a podcast dedicated to all aspects of tabletop wargaming. Your hosts are Bill and Andy.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Trident Wargaming. This is episode 27, and we're joined with some special guests today. We're with the Remembrancers Retreat, and we're doing some box chatter with them. I'm your host, Bill, and I am joined with my co-host, Andy.
Hey guys.
And I've also got Jesse.
Hey, how's it going?
Caro.
Hey, how's it going?
And Steven.
Hello.
So, first off, thank you so much for jumping on the channel. We definitely appreciate, getting to bump shoulders with another Heresy podcast and, just get to talk shop a little bit.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Yeah, we're always happy anytime we get to talk to someone that isn't each other. Because we do that every week.
It's true.
So with, I guess, kicking it off, have you guys been doing any hobbying lately? Has there been any current hobby progress? Kind of getting through.
Yeah, who wants to start? Steven, you start.
Oh no, well, it's a good thing this is a heresy podcast because I've committed heresy. And I haven't done a whole lot of Horus Heresy hobbying. I've actually been doing fantasy and Age of Sigmar. I have a whole Skaven army that I'm getting ready to get painted up for. I have over 500 infantry models in it, so it can actually be for Warhammer Armies projects or Age of Sigmar.
Awesome.
And I was lucky enough to recently score a Cursed City box. So I told my girlfriend that I wouldn't buy any brand new models until I had both. Until I had a Cursed City and my copy of Blackstone Fortress both built and painted. But before I made that promise, I also promised a friend of mine that I would split the new Kill Team box with him. So I split the difference, and I'm just trying to get Cursed City done before August.
Your hubris.
Hubris.
I can't believe it.
But beyond that, I'm pretty much always painting Titanicus in some way, shape, or form. Like I was telling Monty here before we got started, it's my favorite Games Workshop game. I have 3 legions, and I'm always ready to paint and play Titanicus. But that's mostly been what I'm up to.
It's Andy, not Monty.
Very nice.
No, Andy, oh god!
Oh no, you can call me Monty, it's not a problem.
They'll edit that out in post, presumably.
Sure, they have
We're going to let it
do
roll
that.
raw. It's all good. Awesome.
Yeah, for myself, let's see, I finally got my Malagurus model on Friday. Sadly, it was not a special model, but regardless, I built and painted it up using contrast paints. In less than 24 hours, and I was very happy with it.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, I put the pictures in that Discord right there.
Oh,
If you
very
want to take a look at it.
Yeah,
No, look
I
pretty sharp.
did.
Very nice.
Ah.
But I picked up the model just because it's a gorgeous model. I typically play Dark Angels, but even now and then when...
No, you gotta tell the whole story. Here's
Do
a
it.
single detachment of Sons of Horus. So.
That's true. Yeah, I do have an old project of tactical Sons of Horus lying around in a box somewhere around here. And I was like, well, I could probably use them eventually. So
Man, that's a crisp looking paint job you've done on it too.
I was
it is.
very, very satisfied with it. And all contrast paints too. So
Very nice. Pretty good.
Yeah.
thanks.
And similarly to Steven, Jesse brought the Cursed City box back.
It's true.
So I decided in my caffeine-fueled rage during night shift, I'm just gonna build it, and I built a whole box in 2 days. And since then,
killer.
I don't know what I'm gonna do there with it.
Paint it. Now you got to paint it.
I mean, eventually, but I don't have night shift for a while, so I don't know. We'll see.
We'll get there.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Night shift
Yeah, I guess-
is great for getting progress done on any hobby tasks.
Yes and no. I had 2 weeks, and the first week I didn't do anything because I just tried to survive it.
Sims 4.
Well, yes, I did that. Only 4 Sims died. It's fine. Let's
Only?
not talk about that.
Oh no.
Of old age, to say that.
Oh
But
well,
once.
it's what every sim dreams of.
But yeah, Steve and I, we got pretty lucky. We were hanging out with some friends on a little mini road trip, day trip, and came across this small town which had a little gaming store. Like, yeah, what the heck? And lo and behold, they had 3 copies of Cursed City on the shelf. Like, you've got to be kidding me.
That's awesome.
And about all 3.
Yeah,
Oh, it was
Steve and myself and another friend bought 3. All of
Yeah,
them.
so we completely wiped out the local Cursed City economy.
Hey, that's all right. It was a hot box.
Yeah, we were shocked to see them just lying there. It's like seeing a unicorn out in the woods. Like, we can't.
2 more
we can't-
unicorns behind it.
Right.
Yeah, and we thought, well, what else are we gonna do? We're just gonna let these sit here, unbuilt, unplayed. No one in Lexington, Virginia, is playing Cursed City.
Obviously not. They've been there for months, so I felt it was a pretty fair game.
Yeah,
Anyway,
0 regrets, 0 compassion.
no,
Yeah.
just a screaming wallet. That's about it.
But
Yeah.
it's your wallet, so it's fine.
But-
No.
But yeah, that's what we've been up to.
Very nice. I know for myself, been dabbling a little bit into BattleTech, getting some of my clan mechs all painted up, and I've got
Love
plans
giant
to.
robots.
Oh yeah. And I've got plans to jump back to my word bearers and get them
Word.
continued, finished up for some games later this fall, and then planning on going to LVO next year. So definitely want to get them ready for that.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah, we've got a small contingent of BattleTech players down here too, and it's starting to slowly grow. Is it the Alpha Strike rules you're playing?
Mostly classic, although there's talk about checking out Alpha Strike as well.
Yeah, well, I would definitely love to play with our Mech Warrior players, except they're all madmen who don't start playing until 8 o'clock at night
On a weekday.
on a weekday.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they're all like artist types, and they own their own businesses and stuff. So they don't have to be up to like noon.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
they,
no, I know. I just had a match for BattleTech yesterday with one of the locals, so it was pretty fun. It's been many years since I've played, so
that's right. It's a fairly old game set, isn't it?
it is in the 80s. That's some point, like
Wow.
88 or something like that. Then it was out. But
Printing your own models or scrounging around for some eBay finds?
oh no, I got a lot of the new models.
Oh, that's right. It came out with some.
Yeah. I myself, I ended up going pretty big into the Kickstarter that they had going out.
Gotcha.
Just waiting for
Oh,
that.
nice.
Just waiting for that crate to come down the pipe. And Bill will get his Jade Falcon dice and stuff. So
Nice.
it'll be exciting for that. But actually some 3D printing, some terrain and stuff, some white scars, as I mentioned, earlier there. Just working on some infantry. I just slammed together a librarian today or a seer for the white scars today. So
Very cool.
Nice.
yeah, just kind of doing that. And
I need to play with more psychers and librarians.
No, you
It's
don't.
the way to do it. It's the way to do it.
Straight force multipliers.
I mean, you had a navigator who did a lot in the games before.
It's true. You can take him out for more.
The good old lidless stare.
Yeah.
Yes, I still killed this model, but it was fun. I think.
Yep.
Didn't I?
Yeah, you have. It's 50 points of just disrespect.
It's just,
Yeah, they
it's
have a
all
cool
fun and
rule
games
set.
until your big elite Terminator blob gets just their soul sucked out by some uppity mutant with a bandana.
Out of bandana, but yeah. God. This thing.
Yeah, so
nice. So it's good to see everybody's kind of
Yeah.
doing some stuff.
Keep it doing
Yeah.
some getting progress in. I guess that's the big thing, right? Like ever since we got the COVID warp storm that happened and kind of took over everything, it's been trying to just still engage online and get some hobby stuff in when you can.
Definitely some healthy hobby progress.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of surviving the warp storm, what's the one thing you guys are looking forward to the most now that things are slowly starting to transition back to normal?
Well, for me, it actually already happened. The store that we go and play at, Battlegrounds out here in Richmond, Virginia, is right next to a bar called Billiards, or Diamonds. It's called Diamonds.
Diamonds
Billiards. Yeah. And our group's tradition had been before every event, which we usually did probably once every couple of weeks. We had some sort of heresy event. We'd go over there to the bar at around 11 because the store opened at noon, and we'd get some burgers, some beers, and we'd just, hang out over there at first. And it was a good way to get settled into the mood and everything. And that's what I missed the most, not only just playing with my friends, but going over to that bar. And we had our first post-vaccination event. We had a Titanicus event last Sunday. And I texted a few of the guys that were going. I was like, hey, I'm going to Billiards at 11. And lo and behold...
Yeah, we filled up the bar.
Here came my friends.
Yeah.
And it was just like old times.
It really was.
Great. That's what I missed the most.
Cue music, and the crowd comes in, right?
Mm-hmm. It was the Chariots of Fire soundtrack was playing as Jesse came through the door. But
that was a good time. Everyone just lined up at the bar.
Yep. Cider, cider, cider. Will gets his double shot of whiskey and a beer. Everybody else gets cider.
Yep. The bartender just looks at us and just kind of shakes her head.
Uh-huh.
So we're all decked out in our Horus Heresy t-shirts and stuff.
Oh yeah,
we've talking about dice the entire time.
That's kind of like our community and groups as well. We'll usually after the day of gaming, we'll all go hang out at the bar too, and just talk gaming.
Yeah,
pretty fun. And a lot of times when we've had like our shirts and jerseys and stuff, and it's pretty good. Also supports the local communities too. Like when Bill hosts some events, we tend to go into a smaller community hall and then support the local food shops and bars in the local area.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty good, fun times.
Yeah, definitely. It's always nice to be able to have that social interaction, especially with your friends and gaming friends. It's always good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd have to reflect Steven's post-COVID goals, because like I said, I was there too, and that's honestly the biggest thing we're looking forward to, just hanging out with friends again.
Yeah.
So slowly getting there, and hopefully more often in the future.
No, I'm getting hyped here now too, because I also not only Heresy, but I do a lot of bolt action as well.
Mm-hmm.
And next week I'm this week I'm doing just a training day, or come down and pick up games at the local store that I usually run it at. So be fun to see who comes out.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, looking forward to that for sure. It's been a long time since I've gotten that crew out. So, but other than that, yeah, it's gaming with the buddies too, having fun times, remembering things. Getting back into the swing of things. Gonna have those rule questions coming up and stuff. And
hey, what does hatred do again?
Yeah, exactly.
Learning a whole new game.
What's a Space Marine's armor save?
Yeah.
How do I sweep? I forgot how to sweep.
Yeah. Don't worry, everyone's gonna have to look up the ramming rules again.
Oh yeah, there's definitely been some rust broken off on some recent games. You know, you go, hey guys, I got a question. How does this work again? And everyone's like looking at you like, I think I remember.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
What you see is, actually,
There's
I don't remember.
inevitably some edition bleed in there where someone says something and another guy's like, no, that was last edition. That was a 7th edition thing.
That happens lots.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was, but I felt like I was bleeding from 6th edition at some point too for something. I can't remember what it was, but
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
you and me are lucky. We haven't been playing. We've only been playing since 6th edition, but
yeah.
we got guys like Jason who've been playing since Rogue Trader.
Yeah.
Surprised he's not calculating turn radius.
Yeah, that's I think for me and Bill was 2nd edition, Bill?
Yeah, 2nd edition was when I started.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. D12 plus 6 damage on your land reader.
So you remember when Terminators were rolling 2d6 for saves?
Yeah, 3
You
plus
bet,
on
yeah.
2d6. Just
Yep.
not unstoppable.
and then the old classic Vortex Grenade. That was always fun. It was like, if you had that in your army, that guy character was like instantly targeted by the whole other army. So it was good. It literally would. It's like pretty much almost like a destroyer weapon. It just wipes you off the board.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Well, you'll be happy to know that Vortex weapons are back in Titanicus.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Yeah, but only for loyalists. Yeah, hear both of them at the same time. Oh.
You hear that, Bill? Only for loyalists.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
For now.
Yep.
I'll become a
You drop,
loyalist and fall. It's fine.
You can replace a warp missile with a vortex missile for 30 points. You put down the template, and if you've ever played the old, the original Adeptus Titanicus or Titan Legion rules, it's a pretty faithful port of that. You know, big black hole on the field, and it moves around.
Yep.
And anything that hits it's just taking strength 10 hits that ignore shields.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
very similar to the old Vortex for 40k.
Yeah, if you thought wiping out a squad of Space Marines with a grenade was cool, wait till you do it to one whole Titan.
Nice. We'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you know.
I know Titanicus is on the docket as well. We've had some previous time when we were slamming our Titanus together and getting it all painted up, and it was a lot of fun. I'm waiting for a Trader Legio book. You know, I'm trying to stay loyal to my Legio Krytos and
Oh sure.
my Iron Warrior roots. So
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was out by the end of the year.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
it hope, especially for a Krytos player, because, poo boy.
the color scheme's
Krytos- Yeah.
As a Dark
well,
Angels
when
player,
first-
I feel you. I feel you.
When I first
Waiting for
started-
good Legion rules.
when I
Oh,
first
yeah.
started playing, I was like, Krytos seems really cool. And then I read the rules, and I was like, Krytos doesn't seem that cool anymore.
No, I
So,
I didn't know, like, I still haven't played a game. I picked a Legio that I like the color of. I'm like, oh, they're back in Iron Warriors. This is even better. Jumped in, started painting, and then like I started, reading online Goonhammer articles here and there, and I'm like, oh, these rules aren't good at all. I was like, damn. Well, whatever.
yeah, Krytos definitely, not that, not that we're real big play to win people, but Krytos did not get very well thought out rules.
Is it like the White Scars?
No, Krytos just I don't entirely know. In a shooting meta, Krytos is still lagging behind.
Oh.
Their one trait is that they can replace the Reaver in the Myrmidon Maniple with a Warlord. Well, except that there are two other legions that can replace any Reaver with a Warlord.
Yeah.
So
Oh, no.
it kind of makes them a little obsolete. Their Quake missiles aren't that good against Titans. They're decent against terrain, but it requires a lot of interaction with rules that currently don't exist. I think they were written before the meta really took shape, so they're just kind of behind the curve.
Mm-hmm.
The meta already doesn't super favor Trader Legions, and poor Krytos just got left in the dust. But if the loyalist legions that need a little bit of love is any indication of what it's going to be like, then Krytos will probably get, I expect, a pretty heavy overhaul when the Trader book comes out.
Decent little boost, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah,
But
their concept is still really strong. It just doesn't execute very well.
It is nice that they are updating stuff like that. So
Yeah, there's something I'm missing in some of the black books where the early legions just didn't get anything else.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, some of the first gen and second gen legions are still kind of like, hey, can we get updates now?
yeah.
Emperor's
Pretty
Children
much.
and Death Guard are like, boy, it sure would be nice if we got anything.
Even Imperial Fists.
Well, they got the bolter drill. They're still pretty solid.
Yeah, Imperial Fists
I
get a
also
whole
have
bunch
one.
of get their
Terminators.
Yeah.
And everything.
bolter
That's
drill and free tank hunter.
Storm shields on their terminators.
You know,
Yeah.
sure they only have one wound, but they have a 3-up invuln.
well, also true. Been a while.
Well, hopefully we'll be seeing some new updates and stuff soon,
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm hoping
Yeah.
for.
as the rumor mill circles around in the warp and spits out little tidbits here and there for us, hopefully.
Yep.
Yeah, one of the latest rumors I was hearing was November for HH 2.0. So,
Oh.
Yep, I saw that rumor as well.
Be mad about it.
Nah, definitely not.
Right after October.
Well, boy, let's not talk about orcs. You can go on and on about that. Lucky bastards.
yeah, they're getting a lot of love.
Mhm.
Much needed
They're
love.
long overdue for it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine plays both Krieg and orcs, so when that kill team box dropped, he just about lost his mind. He was like, "How am I supposed to? They expect me to spend $200?" I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be a hard time for you, buddy."
Especially since he just recently bought a whole bunch of boys too.
Yeah, he just got
New
a whole bunch of
inbox.
boys.
Oh,
Yep, and then within a month, I think it was, he bought all the boys, and then a few days later, the Gaunt's Ghost box dropped for retail, and somebody spied the new boy on the back of it, and Games
Yeah.
Workshop confirmed,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he was a little salty.
Yeah.
but that's the way, though. I mean,
That's the way it goes, yep. The lesson here is never buy new models, ever.
Nope, never.
it's we've mentioned it before on a previous podcast, but it's like the Death Corps of Krieg as well. I had just recently bought some 3D printed Death Corps,
Yeah.
from a guy in Russia, and beautiful models. They're scaled up a little bit, so they're a little bit bigger, but they have their own unique look. A lot of metal plating on their boots and stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
And like a minute, maybe a week after I ordered it, then the box hit, and Bill sent me a text message laughing at me because it's an ongoing joke. Anytime I decide to jump back into Guard, they're going to come out with the plastic kit. And sure enough, it happened. So
There it is.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Why didn't you do it earlier? Like, come on.
yeah.
Yeah, if you had done it earlier, we would have gotten Kriegers earlier.
Clearly.
I've only been telling him that for like probably the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? The
Yes,
guy does
that
sell
was fun.
Valhallan guys too, so maybe.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you know what you
Ah.
gotta do? You gotta fall on that sword.
Fortunately, there's quite a few swords, but we might be getting new armies all around.
Yeah. Oh,
New army for
Army,
you, new
new
army for
army.
you. New army.
I'm glad
back
I
to
haven't
that.
bought any new Chaos Space Marines recently, because the new box had just come out when I was starting World Eaters. So I was like, I'll just wait a little while.
I was just gonna say we need new Corn Berserkers.
You're
Yeah,
desperate
that's what
need of
we
new
need.
Corn Berserkers.
Yes.
I'd be happy with an updated Codex right now.
That's fair too.
Man, I'd be happy with anything at
It'll
this
be-
point.
Just in time for 10th edition.
Oh,
Yay!
yeah. Oh, God.
Listen, I'm a Dark Angels player, so you can't hurt me anymore with stuff like that.
No, he just, yeah.
You got the true Chaos Space Marine experience. Here's your rules. We're discontinuing the edition.
Bye.
But yeah, back to that rumor you were talking about. I think I saw the same. It was a Facebook post. I want to say it was like from a French or a Spanish modeling company or something of that nature.
Probably Spain, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me. Yeah, they were mentioning new edition, breaking down the black books into smaller like Warzone books, similar to what they do in 40K.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or like
I'm
Titanic
excited
is,
for,
which-
honestly, because every time I've said this before, but every time that Games Workshop proper releases a new Warzone book, we get a new box set with it. So, a new Titanic box set, maybe an Epic box set.
Fingers crossed.
Yep.
Like 6 mil skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine the glory. Imagine the glory.
But yeah, like I think we mentioned this in our podcast before, like I would be perfectly happy if we stop putting out the black books, as beautiful as they are, but having smaller supplements more often, similar to Titanicus, where they churn one out. What it feels like maybe once every quarter, or once every 3 or once every other quarter.
Yeah.
Oh.
Something new to talk about, something to just kind of throw into the meta mill and see how it plays. And
100%. I know we've even mentioned, I'd be willing to, pick up a book very similar to like the chapter approved books, but make it like Legion approved, where, they're tweaking points to actually encourage people to, get these different units on the board and have these updates happen a little more frequently, just because it's right now it feels a little bit stale. I know we've been dabbling with Mournival rules for a little while, and they are nice. There's some refreshing changes that are in those books, but yeah, it would be nice to have more frequent, more often rules released and little tidbits.
we hadn't really messed too much with the Mournival system, just because I don't know if for me personally, I kind of wait till a game system's kind of really dead before I feel like good about just getting my hands dirty on it. But I've seen some of their stuff, and a lot of it looks, fairly decent. A lot of it's kind of clarifying some things that questions people have with the original game. So nothing wrong with that. Just setting up a base house rules and things. But yeah, I'd be looking forward to something a little more fresh, a little more constant. It'd be nice, kind of like the Titanicus, where they'll just break up the legions into a loyalist and a traitor book.
That'd be killer.
Lord knows after with so
That'd be
much,
nice.
so many rules and stuff, it would almost just make perfect sense. A loyalist, a traitor, and then a generic unit army list and a rule book, and you'd be good to go. Sprinkle in your Mechanicus. Yeah, there's plenty of ways they can go with this.
No doubt. Yeah.
Flavor to taste.
Yep.
Your backpack would shrink a bit.
Huh,
Yeah.
Should be nice not to carry
Not-
8 books for a Zone
Exactly.
Mortalis game.
I need to bring 3 of the black books and 3 of the red books. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
And
lucky.
some Advil.
I'm very lucky in the fact that I do actually have all the black books in hardcover, but I just have also a PDF of the stuff that I need to just bring with me, because there's no way I'm just toting around this couple $100 of
Yeah.
black book just getting worn out on the table.
Yeah, I've done it. I've taken them to Vegas, and it's brutal. Basically,
That sounds dangerous.
my carry-on bag is just stuffed with black books, and I'm like, oh, just
Man,
And those things are heavy too.
they are.
Yep.
I bought a single black book and I had to unpack my whole baggage because it suddenly was over, just for the single book for Steven.
Oh,
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's interesting when you are at Vegas and you have all these books, and it's the thing too is like you said, the price of these black books too. If by chance somebody all of a sudden takes your book, now you're out too, right? But
Or
Not
just
to mention-
spilling something on it.
Spilling
Yeah.
in. That doesn't look like
Dropping
they're
it,
reprinting them anymore either. They're
No,
slowly
yeah.
letting them go out of stock.
They've gone the way of Imperial armor.
Yeah.
Another key indicator, I think, that they're going to be rolling out something new here in the future.
and that's the thing, like, coming out with something new and them changing hands for designing the game and whatnot and rules. it's definitely a big, huge opportunity for them
Mhm.
to really start to infuse into the heresy, right? Like, there's so much other stuff that they could probably bring into the heresy just to upgrade it, to give it some more spice. You know,
Oh yeah.
bring a
If-
whole bunch of different characters that change the army,
Mhm.
loadouts and rules and design, right? There's
I
so
would
many.
love for us to be as hyped about standard 28mm heresy as we are about Titanicus right now. If that was the case, be over the moon right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, alternating activations, stratagems, CPs. I think those are fantastic things that would be great to port over from mainline 40K. I mean, not alternating activations, obviously. Those are in the specialist games, but it would be great if half the game wasn't something that happens to you.
well, it's going to be interesting when they. I don't know if that's even out yet, but Argyle Tal, like hit rules for him. What they're going to do, because
Right.
there isn't anything right now, right?
No.
So
Correct.
see what kind of changes they make with him, what kind of changes he does to the army, and that might be an indication of kind of the route they're going to be going, in a sense, right?
Yeah, I'm really curious to see if they're just going to wait for, the new heresy to come out before releasing him, or they're going to just drop a PDF for the current rules. It all depends on when they release him, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't mind getting him sooner than later. Paint him up. I got a Guardian Spear waiting for him too.
There you go.
I'm surprised that he's not showcased with a spear and a sword.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it'll be kind of like Praetor. You can give him Forge Breaker to represent him at a different point in the war. Will you be able to give Argyle Tal rules to represent a spear and a sword?
You think they would have showed that?
A man can dream.
That's right.
Well, people are going to convert that. I know Bill is. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've had a sword set aside for him since the Custodian sprue came out.
Yeah. Nice. One of our buddies, Robbie, made a conversion with him, and it's on point. It's a really good look, and has the Guardian sword, Guardian sword and spear. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Power sword. It looks really nice.
It's really good Argyle.
Nice. We'll have to maybe try to get a picture of that.
I'd have to hunt for that one.
Yeah.
But it's the other thing I was going to say, though, is with these rumors of, and of course we've seen the pictures of the blurry plastic kit starter set or whatever they're coming out with there. If GW is going the route of the plastics with the majority of the kits, that will give Forge World a lot more time to actually work on these other special characters and specialist units and stuff.
So I think it was it that trying to think if it was that rumor post, or maybe I'm just remembering something from someone's comment, but them potentially turning Horus Heresy into basically Age of Darkness and making it almost a third line in the mainstream.
That kind of was what it was getting at. Games Workshop will overtake Horus Heresy as a quote-unquote new system from Forge World with its own rule set, not a 9th edition 40k adaptation. Many new plastic sets are planned to replace Forge World resin models, which will also be useful in 40k armies.
Okay, sounds like you have the
decals. Yeah,
you
characters
have the
and very specific Legion stuff will remain Forge World. So I imagine that the character series that they have run up till now will continue, and that'll be where you get your your high quality, your chef kiss models,
your Legion specific and character models.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Because I don't imagine Gal Vorbach Palatine Blades, Death Shroud. I don't imagine any of them are going over to Games Workshop anytime soon.
No, but everybody needs tacticals. Everybody needs rhinos.
But everybody needs tacticals, and
it
just don't make sense from Games Workshop's perspective. It doesn't make sense to charge us $50 for 5 guys when now 1 in 10 of us have a printer.
It's true.
Yeah, not to mention the accessibility to actually getting plastics. instantly where you are in your city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Compared to waiting for the resin or otherwise. And just, it's about time.
Right.
And, like,
like I've been telling this to the boys, like, GW just needs to crossover. Cordial needs to crossover and just start doing everything in plastic.
I understand the beauty of resin, but also, if you leave your army on a hot day in your car, you're gonna have a bad time.
Melt.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
we saw this in action.
Oh no!
So our we just had 4 of us were just playing some Heresy the other weekend, and our friend Alex had the pool noodle effect happen to his Blood Angel. What are they called, Bill? His jumpers there with the spears.
Oh, the
Angels.
I know what you're talking
Dawnbreakers or Dawnbreaker.
Dawnbreakers. Yeah.
Dawnbreaker.
Yeah, that's them. That's them. So yeah, he pulled them out and he showed us, and like the spears are like pool noodles. They're just warped, and it was only like 5 of them or something.
Yeah, but some of them warped. Like the spear tip, like turned into an S.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
and it's painted, and like the paint didn't break.
Yeah,
it just
Well,
just warped.
Yeah.
did he get them back up straight, or?
I don't know if he attempted it or not. I think he's probably just crying inside, and then he's gonna attempt to do it because like he did a great job on painting them. I think they looked amazing.
You know what? He should add in a psyker, and just if somebody is like, warp shenanigans, don't worry about it.
Heartbreaking.
Yes, it's, oh god, poor guy.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually had anything warped like that. No, I don't leave it in the car, especially with the heat we had recently. But yeah.
Back to plastics. I can't wait to see a plastic Spartan.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Plastic
Hey,
Spartan, I can't wait. I'll be honest.
New Marines, new Spartan, get some new Rhinos, Sakarans. Just give me it all. Not just at once, but give me it all.
Give our wallet a little bit of time to recover in between releases.
Yeah.
Can't have it all at once.
Just be excited to see.
Introducing the new Games Workshop credit card.
It would honestly be like the best idea they ever had.
Yeah.
If they offered a credit system,
You can call that one Forge World Plastic.
It'd be wrapped into the Warhammer Plus.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, it's wrapped into Warhammer Plus. Yep. Just make all of your payments through the Warhammer Plus website.
Yeah, make a certain amount of purchases and get a free exclusive model that you only get by having the Warhammer Plus credit card.
Oh my!
Some Games Workshop clerk is going to be listening to this.
Yeah, we need to
gleaning ideas.
Yeah, that's our idea. I want to pitch it to HQ.
Yeah. Well, I think Austin made some offhanded joke about pre-orders, right? When we were discussing Warhammer Plus the first time. And then when the article rolls out, lo and behold, early queue access to pre-orders.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So they're listening. They know. Put on my tinfoil hat.
Speaking of new stuff as well, this is obviously a picture I threw up. It's flown around internet fire, or as Dan called it, was internet phosphix, just roaring along.
It really was.
But so
look at that
thoughts,
guy.
Thoughts on this model.
Oh, I love him so much. I'm so glad he has a power fist instead of like a blade, because
either
I love
power fist or eschaton,
a good ornate power fist,
or it could be an eschaton power claw too.
Oh yeah.
I can't be both.
Eschaton power claw. Man, that must be something that's so old and so rarely seen that I've completely forgotten that it existed. Is that an option for Sons of Horus?
I seem to remember. It honestly, I shouldn't be talking without my mouth. Well, I shouldn't be talking without my mouth, but I shouldn't be talking without having the stuff in front of me. But I'm pretty sure they can take something like that.
Well, I've got Betrayal right here in front of me.
I'll race you. But yeah, that model looks amazing. And I'm really curious because this thing looks almost a little too ornate to be a standard Praetor. my initial thought when I saw it in pieces was like, that's a cool new, Praetor. But telling you what, that thing looks so distinct, and
I get the character
Think-
vibe, you know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just gonna say.
Could be a whole
Yeah,
new
I mean,
one.
he could be.
Which more?
Is there anyone, one of the
Monoval?
Mournival? Is there anybody that rocks a Volkite Serpenta and a fist?
Not.
I can't.
Don't think
I
so.
can't remember them even.
Yeah, not that I can think of.
Who got Logan replaced by?
Oh, geez, that's
Maybe
could
that
be
dude?
anybody.
Exactly. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Eschaton Power Claw. There's Centurion
But yet-
Charbondar. That's
even like
am I
the
thinking the Night Lords thing? Now that I
Even
think
the
about it.
shoulder pads.
Eschaton. Feels like a Dark Angels thing.
No, actually, I know. I'm thinking Night Lords. I don't know what I'm, because I got that in the new Book 9 as well.
Also, it's
They got a
called
fancy
Night
Power
Claw.
Claw. Yeah, but either way, it looks really cool. That big ass Power Fist.
Yeah.
And I love a good ornate Power Fist because so many Praetors, all armed with the Paragon Blade, have swords or axes, and there's really only so many swords or axes that you can see before you're like, cool, another dude with a sword.
Same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But here comes this Sons of Horus Praetor, who's just ready to knock heads off of blocks.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna grab your head and twist it like a doorknob.
Got some nice chain around the claw and everything. It's a really pretty model.
Has
Mhm.
an extra head in case.
I love that skull that's hanging at his hip that has 16 or 17. Whatever that
16.
legion is. 16.
Yeah.
Bolted onto the forehead.
Yeah, in case he forgets his number.
The helmet with the skull kind of face mask is so cool to me. I love it. I love this model.
And the fact that he has a terrain topper instead of just the standard tactical rock to put one
Yeah.
foot on. And that kind of leads me to believe that it is some sort of character. Or it could, I don't know, maybe a single model, or maybe it's like a leader of a new Horus Heresy, squadron or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
that could be the start of, like I was just saying, right? The
Yeah.
new character series that they're coming out with,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which would be a great idea. But even like just looking at this model, like his shoulder pads, like it has the wreath on.
Yeah, he's got the
one.
laurels on him. He's definitely
Yeah.
a Praetor equivalent, even if he's not a Praetor. That dude's gonna have Master of the Legion.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
It could be another type of console too, right? Like that they're coming
can.
out with, maybe.
It can be in 30K.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if when new rules drop, if Sons of Horus have an exclusive console type. I'm not sure what it would be, but there it is.
Yeah, and who knows? Could be one of the other characters from the books. There's so many.
Yeah.
There's so much
Yeah,
that they can do
yeah.
and bring out. Like, but even looking at this model too, at a modeling hobby aspect, like there's parts on this model that people are going to take and start converting with instantly, probably.
The fist
Like,
right away. The
fist.
helmet.
That helmet, like Iron Warriors, that's what it screams to me.
Yeah, and I know, and I remember from seeing the photos of the sprue, is that top knot is a separate piece.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like how the top knot, it's not like a straight one like how Abaddon has it. It's kind of like on the back and some sort of like reverse wing
Mhm.
kind of goes up. Gives a
Oh,
little
I
more
didn't even
sturdy.
notice that. Yeah. It's
A little bit different.
Yeah.
Or there's just staring. God, that was the most annoying thing. I built some just staring before, and that little top knots were the
Maybe it's the
absolute beast.
maybe it's the top knot of the enemies he's killed, and not his own.
So
Could be, yeah.
this Volkite Serpenta, though, is kind of interesting to me. Because I said this about the lion. When the lion dropped, right, and there's those Night Lords
Yeah.
on his base who were running away from him. I kept saying to myself and to the others, don't these Night Lords look kind of big? Like, their arm looks real thick compared to standard Forge World resin. And one of the reasons that I said that was because of the Volkite Serpenta that one of them is holding is real thick and has that more defined rectangular muzzle compared to, the original Volkite models, which are relatively narrow. And here this dude is again with this big
chonky Volkite.
Conky Volkite. And he's, this dude ate his Wheaties.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it definitely looks a little bigger, right?
He's not little. Yeah. So, now I'm starting to. I'd like to go back and look at those Night Lords on the base again and measure them against some of the newer Marine kits and see.
Because there was some chatter about the there was some chatter about the Mark VI Marines in that box set reveal that they seem to look a little bit bigger than others as well, and it was kind of difficult to say that when you kind of saw some in perspective with the Cataphracti Terminators they're next to. It seemed like they do seem a slightly a little bit bigger. So we'll see.
Yeah, and with going on with that, like their poses are different compared to like what we're so used to as a Marine.
Yeah. I've been building a lot of Chaos Space Marine kits recently, and the poses for all those Mark VI with the legs are almost identical.
See, gotcha.
The way that the body is turned, the position that the legs are set, it looks like they really just took the frame of the Chaos Space Marine kit, took all the Chaos stuff off, and just made it Mark VI.
Yeah, well,
which I've been wanting true scale Marines basically since I started playing, so I'm super excited.
Yeah, I know.
Not strictly true scale.
I know Bill's been looking at true scale.
Oh yeah,
Bill was looking at some true scale stuff there earlier.
Well, that Tortuga Bay Studio stuff that's been coming out, oh man, it's beautiful. Like they just released MK4 Iron Warrior specific, standing and running.
Yeah, I saw that recently.
Holy man, they look so good.
Yeah, seeing their Mark II stuff, I haven't seen any of the other stuff yet, but
yeah,
I'll definitely have to take a look at that.
Oh, for sure. They've got Mark II all the way up and including Mark V, standing and running poses, and then they have specific for Iron Warriors, Dark Angels, World Eaters.
Really?
Yeah. It's pretty legit.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good for your Marines. And I know me and Bill talked about this too. It just kind of sucks that there isn't anything for like vehicles and pilots and stuff for the vehicles like speeders, right? But that's pretty much a whole other line if somebody was to do that.
Yeah. And to be honest, a lot of them are sitting down, so you can probably get away with a little bit more scale differential with that.
Oh, for sure. But in the end, like with all this stuff being leaked and coming out and whatnot, just pull back on those reins because let's wait to see what happens.
Yeah,
some World Eater.
So,
oh yes,
I'm not going to pull the trigger because next, we will have new heresy.
Yep.
Maybe
I wouldn't
should
mind.
pull the trigger actually.
Yeah, no. He's got knuckle blades on his fist. God, this thing is cool.
That's a very aggressive power fist.
Getting rid of all the word bearers. Playing exclusively Sons of Horus now.
There you go. Yeah, we don't have too many Sons of Horus players in our little community, which is kind of surprising. I know of Pat.
I mean, to be fair, Horus is a horrible, horrible thing.
Yeah, but his rules are a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, but he's cool, so like...
Is he, though? Is he?
Yeah. The whole thing is named after him.
Just because it's your name doesn't mean you're cool.
Kinda does.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. There's a reason they don't call it the Lorgar Heresy.
So it just doesn't roll off the tongue as nice. That's why.
Yeah.
Also,
of course, Caro also knows it as the Big Brother War, not necessarily the Horus Heresy.
Big Brother War. To be fair, it should be the Daddy Issue War.
that is a fair statement. Yeah,
it is.
I can't argue with that one.
That's very true. Yeah, we think we got a few Horus players, Sons of Horus players in our community. We have one guy who has just a massive army,
Oh yeah.
all painted up. It's ridiculous.
Oh, nice.
Like,
Nice.
I don't know how many points does the guy have. Maybe
Like 12 or 15k.
yeah.
He's going for like
Yeah,
a
that's
full
good stuff.
company. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
And they're all painted up, dirty and gritty, and just
As
really
it should
really
be.
nice.
Yeah. They're out there fighting the war. They don't have time to look pretty. Not like those damn Ultramarines.
Ultramarines.
That's right.
Hey, them my boys.
Well, as a Word Bearers player, I am morally obligated, you understand?
Oh, I do. I do. I get it from Bill all the time. So
It's good to see fellow bearers of the word. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, we're my brothers, man. Where are they?
They're on Calf.
On Calf. Yeah.
on Calf.
No,
That's right.
can't be. No.
Dead on Calf and taking their sweet time to get to Terra.
You should know the Emperor is dead and we need our own empire.
Meanwhile, halfway across the galaxy. It's fine. It's definitely not treason, guys.
delete the records.
Oh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you mean the Lions get drop pods full of phosphex?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
The line also totally did not bring Shorty onto any planet.
Yeah, no, he definitely
That
wasn't
didn't
holding on
happen.
to
That didn't
Kurz.
happen.
All right. Yeah, in German, apparently, the Kurz is apparently.
Yeah, sorry. So Kurz, Kurze is also, it just sounds so much like short. So he's Shorty for me. Conrad Kurz is Shorty.
Shorty. Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to tell Ted about that one.
But yeah, I'm really excited to see what's coming up for the Heresy. It looks
nice.
exciting, and
Definitely.
I think we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah,
For sure.
once stuff drops, man, that hype train is just gonna explode.
Hype train already is with just a few
it's-
small
yeah.
little.
The hype train is boarding and just
But like
Get on board.
I'm talking, it's just gonna explode. Like people are just gonna go nuts. And
one of
then
those high-speed mag rail hype trains.
yeah. And then once that first box set comes out for sale, oh boy,
Yeah.
better have
Just like it'll be just like Betrayal at Calth, just like Burning of Prospero. The good days have returned.
Yes. I'll be curious to see what people's reaction of a new rule set will be, and we'll see.
Oh,
I think
we're
we
gonna-
know what the reaction to a new rule set will be.
Yeah, there's gonna be some
High
salt for
pushback.
sure.
That's okay.
lots of bitter tears, but
What is it,
eventually.
little kitty?
I'll still play, and
Yeah.
yeah, if they got a problem with it, as Steven likes to say, die mad about it.
Have you asked your doctor about dying mad about it?
And if you do decide to burn your models, please contact us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
we'll
will-
burn them for you. We'll burn
We'll
them
burn
for
them
you.
for you in
We
a
got-
safe and
Yeah.
environmentally compliant manner.
Oh,
You know?
Just the books.
not
we don't.
yet. Yeah, honestly, rules don't scare me. I'm not really.
Change
I
is
don't know,
good.
Change is good. I've be honest. I played a game of Heresy for the first time in like a year, a few weeks ago, and as we were playing, I was looking like, yeah, this game has gotten pretty stale. I'm ready for some change to it. So
yeah.
Well, it's always good to have upgrades to your game, right? To keep it fresh, to keep it going, to bring in new players. Like we got a few new players kind of creeping into our community as well.
Mhm.
Oh, that's always good.
And that's always good, even if it is
Definitely.
update. But it's nice because some of these players are actually crossing over from other systems, which luckily enough is from my bolt action system that I deal with too. But you know, being active in our community as well, and just showing the community some love and getting stuff rolling and always interacting with everybody, it definitely helps with these communities and players to get back into gaming.
yeah,
Even
and
if,
having
you know-
this, Yeah, and having this system, which has been around pretty much constantly for almost a decade, fairly unchanged, to bring it closer to a more modern gaming system, I'm all about it. And if some people have complaints, that's okay, because
Yeah,
rule
100%.
additions don't bother me, because like I've told people before in the past, about 12 years ago, I started playing D&D for the first time, and it was a 4th edition. And that was before I knew any drama about edition changes and things. And I would go to a game store with some friends, and we would get teased mercilessly by passers-by because of the edition we were playing. And we played a solid campaign for over a year every weekend for at least 6 hours a night. And I had a blast. And that edition did not affect that in any way whatsoever. So when people talk about edition change, it sucks, I don't really give a care. I'm ready for something new.
Word.
Mm.
Word. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good, solid talk right there.
Yeah, that's just the way it is. You can't hurt me with an edition change.
Yeah.
Because I got my friends, and we're going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and worst case scenario, we'll just play the old edition.
And we still got cool models to play with. So
Yep.
that's what a miniature game is all about. Friends and cool models.
Definitely.
But
Yep.
all right, let me get off this soapbox here. Okay, we're good.
Oh wait, quit yelling at me.
Well, I know with our like influx of new players, and even it seems like there's a fair amount of new players kind of creeping up online. We've been kind of probing, right, the community, looking for different ways to engage these newer players, especially. And I know one of the main questions that's popped up locally here and online was, what are the things to consider when you're trying to make an all-comers list, to play games, be it at an event or just like in your local meta. And like that's kind of like, one of those unending questions, because it's quite the rabbit hole you can jump into.
Yeah.
Depending on how you play, and
it's gonna keep on going.
yeah, like there's a lot of things to consider for sure. Like myself, I always have tried to take a approach of, having mobility, worrying about my scoring amount of like units. Do I have anti-armor? Do I have anti-infantry shooting? And do I also have a flyer? Because I feel like they're very necessary to have another dynamic in the game. And then
You don't need them until you do.
well, that's exactly it, right? And then having an assault or a counter-assault unit. Those are kind of things I always keep in my mind when I'm building lists. But I also, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say for listeners out there.
Yeah, so for all-comer lists, I don't claim to be an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but one thing I remember when I first started into Horus Heresy and hanging out with these guys, I brought my, fully built Betrayal at Calth one day, start up with, and everybody has tanks. And I learned quickly that, you kind of need some armor in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that one dreadnought isn't enough.
No. But I'm a firm believer in, when it comes to all comers, if you want to get started, a great way, and probably everybody will tell you this, is Pride of the Legion list will get you far just starting out. You'll get your most bang for your buck, allowing you to take Terminators and veteran squads, as troops, which is significant. You can pick up a box of tactical Marines, and you can turn them into a veteran squad, no problem. Right out of the box, or if you want to go crazy and add some bits and stuff to them. But they got the special weapons in there that you normally can't take with a tactical squad, and turn them into a veteran squad. And again, like with Terminators, best to max, depending on what you play, especially if you're playing vanilla Terminators, max them out to 10, because you're going to feel that one wound real quick. And it's just not fun when they just start dying by bolter fire from a 20-man squadron. When it comes to heavy support, I'm a firm believer in Predators are always great. You can always throw some las cannon sponsons on there for some anti-armor as well. And Land Raiders, they're big, they're bulky, and more times than not, they'll actually get you where you need to go. and they're just fun to shoot with. I don't play too much with flyer units, but as far as anti-air, Deradeo, I really enjoy mine with the Arachnus las cannon battery.
Oh yeah.
That can be a great vehicle killer on the sky or in the ground. But yeah, definitely look to those type of units. I feel are probably really good, and some Contemptor Dreadnoughts too. That'll give you a good solid all-comers when you want to try it out.
Something I would add on to that as well is the next logical evolution away from Pride of the Legion is Primarch's Chosen.
Mm-hmm.
Plays very much in the same vein, with the addition of, hey, your Primarch's on the table. And when you're a new player, especially when you're playing against people who have been in this for 3 or 4 editions, right? And no matter what you put on the table, you kind of feel like they're going to run circles around you. Sometimes it lessens the sting a little bit if you really make them bleed for it. And, if in those very first days when Jesse and I were first getting started, if Jesse had put down the lion, if the lion had been around then, then all right, cool, let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
It still makes vets troops. Terminators can still be taken as troops, and it kind of takes the pressure off of you to really play tactically, which doesn't necessarily teach you how to play the game very well. But in a lot of cases, heresy games devolve into a slugfest anyway.
Yes, they do.
So you may as well be good at it when you're there, and nothing is quite as killy as a Primarch. Angron, Horus, the Lion, Kurz, they're all great. They're all a lot of fun to play with. Everyone's fun to play with except Lorgar.
Plus, you'll definitely get some looks from a passerby when you see that, oh, there's some Primarchs on the table.
Yeah, there were very
That's cool.
few things as cool as getting into heresy real early on, and being the one guy in the game shop playing Horus Heresy, right? And some 40k player walks by and is like, "Is that Horus?"
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that only exists as myth in your time? There he is.
Yeah, we get that a lot too. I've seen that. Just you're the only 2 players playing Heresy around, surrounded by 40k players, right?
Yeah.
And it's good times.
And there's
fun.
there's
Hey, 40k Dark
Gilliman.
Ages players, guess what? Yeah, I can play the Lion. You can too. Come on, play
What can
Heresy.
you do? Yeah, but to also build off of what Jesse was saying as far as an all-comers list, affordability used to be a huge thing for Heresy, right? Because recasters weren't super common yet, and everything was Forge World resin. Used to be a $600 army to play 500 points.
Yep.
And so what I always say is Dreadnoughts. Dreadnoughts for days. Dreadnoughts for weeks. You can put a Dreadnought, be it a Box Dread, a Contemptor Dread, a Cordis, a Leviathan, you can get a lot of mileage out of them. And they're ubiquitous enough now that you can fit them into the army in a lot of different ways. The Mortificator console, right?
Yep.
He's relatively easy to convert up. You just take a dude who looks kind of like a tech marine, give him a fancy stick, and give him 5 Dreadnought friends to hang out with. Bam, that's a Death Star. And especially if you have a local game store to go to, right? And a lot of local game stores buy and sell used models. Dreadnoughts you can pick them up $10 a pop.
Yeah.
10 American dollars anyway. I don't know what you Canadians use.
Canadian dollars.
Dollars.
Oh. All right. I didn't know if it was like some weird Justin Trudeau fun buck.
For a couple
It's
of
bottles of syrup, okay, and moose pelts. And beaver pelts. That's how we trade.
loonies and toonies. That's all I remember from my visit to Canada
Yeah.
about 8 years ago.
Yeah, we still got it.
Yeah. So, you can stick a whole bunch of them in there if you really luck out, and you manage to find a whole lot of Dreadnoughts, right? There's a whole Rite of War dedicated to dreadnoughts. It requires 3 infantry models. You won't win game on victory points, but it'll look really cool.
Yeah.
It's
nuts.
They can, you give them las cannons, you give them conversion beamers and multi-meltas, and there's your anti-armor.
Yeah.
They can.
Steven has run this as an Iron Warriors player. He has run that
Fury of the Ancients. That's right.
He's not just talking out of his butt. He knows what he's talking about, because I've seen him collect dreadnoughts for like 1.5 years, 2 years, until finally he just dumps them all on the table one day to start rolling them. It was amazing.
That sounds awesome.
I have an Iron Warriors. It's got 16 dreadnoughts in it, and it's one of the funnest games, or funnest lists that I have to play. I don't often win with it, because giving up a victory point per dead dread is
it's a tough pill to swallow for sure.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. And some of those other rites of wars, Armored Spearhead, or maybe it's Armored Assault, I don't remember which one, but the ones that really let you pile on like specialist units, it's a good way to fill out your list real quick with a relatively small number of units. So that's something I always suggest when people want to do an all-comers list as well. Check out one of the specialist rites.
That's solid advice for sure. I know when I look to my Iron Warriors and Dreads, I always have a soft spot for Iron Circle. Although they're expensive, they are extremely hardy and fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty good. They're scary on the board.
Yeah, and they're very imposing models too. They're probably one of my favorite looking models that the Iron Warriors have.
Yeah, I know with me playing Ultramarines, a lot of times it's having enough units, by the end of the game to actually be tactically winning with objectives and whatnot, being able to hold and test. Again, especially using like Gullman to give other types of rules to other units, like Implacable Advance and stuff, on speeders and whatnot, to contest and score right at the last kind of turn.
Yeah.
Just zip up and snag that objective, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot. I find a lot of times when I play my Ultramarines, it's almost like a circle is kind of happening, right? Like you're going clockwise and you're kind of just outmaneuvering your opponent, and you just keep wailing into them with your firepower and stuff. So big guns, high AP values, on your weapons that you're picking for your army, and making sure you have enough of them, because like you said, there's a lot of vehicles in Heresy, and a lot of players tend to use a lot of vehicles in their armies right at the moment. But it's still important to have enough scoring units and troops, and even that basic tactical marine. The squad is a very important unit. If you only got 2 and you lose one of them, well, I hope you have more scoring units. And one big important thing about that is mobility, right? Like, I know a lot of guys like using the big 20-man squads, but I'm definitely a fan of having my tactical squads in rhinos and getting them to where I need to get them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The old rhino rush.
And I have found personally that if you one great way of making a rhino useful throughout the entire game, even once it's delivered its cargo, is putting a melta-gun on top.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a 25-point upgrade, and suddenly it's a threat for the entire game to any vehicle out there.
It is 100%, and no one wants to waste, a las cannon to shoot a rhino, but
exactly.
You force them to, because you will pay if you underestimate that humble chassis.
Yeah, dozer blades and melta guns are automatic purchases for me for my rhinos.
Yep. I like havoc launchers on mine. Just sit them in the back and pelt people with heavy bolter templates.
Multi-meltas is about as luxurious as it gets for me on my vehicles. I run pretty cheap bare bones. Like, I usually don't run anything, not even dozers. I just roll the dice and let it rip. Sometimes it's bit me before, but I try and really scrimp on points where I can and
Yeah, if I'm playing
climb.
if I'm playing a big game, I will try to pull the deluxe package on my Predators. Well, I'll give them all las cannon sponsons, heavy bolters, power of the machine spirit, and a hunter killer missile just for the sheer hilarity of it.
Yeah, we have a saying in Richmond that's influenced by a lot of early Heresy games, which is if you don't have 5 points for the Dozer Blade, you don't have 230 points for the tank.
It's true.
Never skip
Yep.
the Dozer Blade.
Never skip the Dozer Blade.
Yep, one of our very first kind of smaller events that just some of us played. It was just a really simple narrative game. We had a moat, a big river going through the middle of the table, and a guy rolled his Land Raider up to it and failed the difficult terrain test and immobilized his Land Raider on the bridge, and no one could get across it for the rest of the game.
Oh boy.
Yep. From that day forward, Dozer Blades.
Maybe my bridges?
Yeah, there's Steven's
That was
Fury of
good,
the
yeah.
Ancients.
Look
Yeah,
at
I
this
see
happy
that. That's
family.
awesome. Looks great.
Very nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of dreads.
Yep, that's 16 victory points just waiting to be handed out.
Like candy on a Christmas.
Like, here you go. Here you want. What's that? You're not winning the game? Here, have some victory points.
I know. I don't know if I would want to take that army on. Actually, I do have a lot of firepower with my Ultramarines, but that's a lot of dreads to try to take out before they get to you.
If you don't, I've found that if you don't specifically build with a lot of high strength shooting, you won't kill them before they start punching you. And I picked Iron Warriors with this one because I can give every single one of them has a heavy bolter. So you give them the shrapnel bolts for free, and they just keep pouring fire onto one target until it's either dead or pinned, and then they move on to the next one.
Yeah, that's a great tactic
Okay.
for sure.
It sounds like pure Iron Warrior.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. And, another thing to say as far as, building a list. Anything that... I'm a huge fan of conversions, so anything that you can do that involves converting, you should.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of those dreadnoughts is built differently. You can't really tell from the photo, but there's like a couple of Death Guard dreadnoughts in there that have been repurposed. One of them has Thousand Suns legs. It was a lot of fun making that list, or building this army.
Well, that doesn't help that Death Guard Dreadnought looks so good for Iron Warriors. You just shave the X and it's still rocking the, 4 on it.
Yeah.
I scoffed one of those as well, and I was like, damn, this model's awesome.
Yep.
Oh, you got a little
There's
Daredevil
even-
back there too. I didn't notice that before.
Yep, he's got his las cannons. He's one of my favorite ones in there. I took out his regular head and I put it in the Horus Contemptor that's standing right in front of him.
Uh-huh.
So the Daredeo is wearing an Iron Warrior's skull mask,
Even
tucked
better.
away down
Nice.
there in his little dreadnought gorget. Where is he? There he is. And he's standing on a Imperial Fist for added insult.
Of course.
That's the
Gotta
only
have
way to
the
base your
Imperial
Iron
base.
Warriors, yeah.
It's with dead
It
Imperial
matches-
Fist. Well,
That's right.
Matches the hazard stripes.
I built we did a Secret Santa one year, and I built a Imperial Fist Leviathan for our buddy Jared, and he's standing on an Iron Warrior. So this time I returned the favor and put a Imperial Fist under the Daredeo.
And squish.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's killer.
Down he goes.
That's Brady, if you're listening. The only good Imperial Fist is a dead Imperial Fist. Just letting you know.
It's a well-known fact.
It is.
That's killer. Well, that definitely sounds like some solid advice, you guys, for, things to consider for all-comer style lists. I know myself, I really like the idea of a flyer, be it a Lightning or a Xiphon. I tend to lean towards Lightnings myself, just because they can be very much a guarantee for your anti-armor.
Yeah, they'll delete whatever they're pointed at.
Yeah, I know a lot of people kind of don't favor them just because, it's kind of like blow your load and kill the tank and it's over, but I tend to almost always run with the Siege Breaker, so I've been considering just taking those Phosphex cluster bombs, just so you can always give that one last,
One last finger.
yeah,
to whoever's still on the
yeah,
table.
basically, right? It's a good. I like the mechanics of the flyers, just because, if someone wants to run the, Typhon Lord of War, or they want to bring the Spartan, it is easy to kind of get around that flare shield and, punish that tank for being on the board.
Yeah, and it's like you say, some people are down on it because it's blow up the tank and then you're done. But when that tank is a Spartan,
Suddenly,
suddenly blow up the tank and then go home doesn't seem so bad.
No.
and
Go ahead, Jesse.
re-emphasizing for people just starting out again, and everyone's going to tell you this: when you find something that you think is really cool and want to try it out,
Do it.
if you put do it, and if you put time, effort, and love into it, everyone's going to pat you on the back for it.
Yeah.
And also take a Leviathan Dreadnought too. That's the last bit.
And
That's all my
also-
advice.
Also, if they don't pat you on the back for it, stop playing with them. They're jerks.
Or maybe they just don't have hands. Who knows?
Verbally, talking, dancing, singing, I don't know, anything.
I will say, you're gonna, when you're first getting started out, you're gonna look on the table and you're gonna see across from you Spartans and stuff, and maybe you don't have a lightning to take it out. Bear in mind, and if you're building an all-comers list, you probably know this already, but you're not gonna have the solution to every problem. So
This is true.
don't stress it too much.
Stress on the things that you
particularly-
can kill on the table.
Yeah, particularly one of those things, and I don't know why conventional internet wisdom says to do this, but if you're bringing apothecaries, you don't need to put augury scanners on everything. You're never going to have enough intercept to go around. That's just a fact. You're just going to have to live with it. Bubble wrap tanks with bodies. That's the best interceptor.
Also, keep in mind, even if you have something which is supposed to help against anything your opponent throws at you, sometimes plans just don't work. It's fine. It's the fun.
Yep, like when the lightning comes down and just completely deletes it.
Yep.
Everybody's playing Skaven. You just don't know it yet.
The other thing too with just getting started, whatever legion you decide to pick, you decide to try out, always try to use their strengths, use their rules. When you're building your army, keep that always in mind, right? To use whatever edge you can get with those armies. And sometimes, and I've noticed this because a lot of times I actually don't run a Rite of War. Sometimes those Legion-specific Rite of Wars aren't the best option.
Mhm.
So definitely experiment, try it out, see what feels the best for your play style, what you like. And of course, bottom line is what you enjoy, right?
Oh yeah.
For sure.
So,
Indeed.
and
Mhm.
one other note, always keep the mission in mind. Right?
Oh, yes.
It's not just I'm going to wipe you off the board. 9 times out of 10, you're playing, you think you're in a good spot, you're doing really good. End of the game, you lost by 1 point. So definitely keep the mission in mind. Keep a track and an idea of where you are for holding or contesting objectives, and if you're going to be able to do it. So that's kind of my little gist on it. But all the advice that's been heard here, it's all solid, and it's all good templates for players who want to try stuff out, right? So sounds good to me.
Yeah. Well, definitely, it's always nice to hear perspective from other players as well, because you guys are in a different area, so a different meta, and it's just nice to touch base with other hobbyists and gamers and get the insight. So
Yeah, and that's another thing. Metas vary from place to place for sure. Like Maryland, 30K, just 2 hours north of us. Like they almost never played with tanks. At least that's what what they said like a couple of years ago. That's probably changed by now. But they came.
That was in the before times.
A bunch of them came down for an event, and we were definitely armor heavy compared to the guys
Yeah,
that came
we had
down here.
not only tanks, we had super heavy tanks, and they just had no answer for it. They had no way to deal with a falchion sitting on the other end of a board just handing out D shots like candy.
But they're good guys up there too. We enjoy hanging out with them.
Yeah, on the flip side, every time we do a Centurion event, we get spanked.
That's true.
What do you mean we can't use tanks? Don't worry, I'm ready. I got 16 dreadnoughts.
That's killer.
Thank you guys for having us over.
Yeah,
because this was a fun chat.
yeah, and thank you so much for jumping on again, you guys. I know where you guys are at. It's getting a little late, so we appreciate the time. We appreciate the info and just having the chat. And for all you listening out there, thanks for tuning in. We we want to keep putting out stuff that you'll enjoy. So hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you think, and let us know if we answered any of your new player questions. And if you have more, just fire away. And we'll have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, any opportunity for me to come and not have to edit a podcast, I'm more than willing to come and record. So.
Awesome.
Oh, you're never gonna get rid of him.
Awesome. And
This is the easiest episode Jesse's done in years.
Oh, it feels like a vacation.
And we'll have links in the description to the Remembrancers Retreat and their page, their Instagram, everything on there as well, so you can follow along and throw them a sub. There's lots of content on there, a variety of different aspects, so definitely check them out. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah. Yep, our
Thanks.
website is rr30k.com. Simple as that, and that'll lead you to anywhere you want to find content that we make.
Well, excellent. Well, thanks a lot, guys, and we will catch you in the next episode.
Thanks again.
Looking forward to it.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
See you.